Welcome to AzureTeach.net. In this video, I'll explain token-based authentication for ASP.NET Core Web API. After watching this video, it is not needed for you to see any other video on YouTube for ASP.NET Core Web API authentication using tokens. I'm going to explain each line of code that I'm going to write. So please subscribe to my channel for more videos on Azure and .NET. It is very easy to understand token-based authentication. Here, user provides username and password to the client application. Client application sends username and password to authorization server. Authorization server validates username and password and returns JWT token. JWT token is a kind of encrypted string. After that, client sends JWT token to the resource server in subsequent request. Resource server validates the JWT token and returns the resources. We are going to implement this using ASP.NET Core. It can be done in 3 simple steps. First, we have to create a token manager class to generate the token. And after that, we have to modify Startup.cs class to add authentication and JWT related code. And after that, we have to modify the controllers accordingly to use the token generated by the token manager. Here I'm creating a new project using ASP.NET Core Web API template, clicking on next, and here I'm giving the name as API Token Demo. Click on next. I'm using .NET Core 3.1. Click on create. It has created the project. To make this demo short and crisp, I'm going to use in-memory list of users. For that, I'm going to create a class. In real time, we will use database to preserve the user details, but here I'm creating a data class, and inside data class, I'm adding public static dictionary of string, string users is equal to new dictionary of string, string, and inside this, I'm adding 2 users, sample user, and I'm giving the password as password. And here I'm adding one more user, demo user, and password as password. And now we have to add an interface. Click on add new item and choose interface. And here I'm writing JWT Token Manager, and I'm making this as public. And here I'm writing a method string authenticate, and it expects username and password. Now I'm going to implement this class, and I'm giving the name as JWT Token Manager. Before that, let us go to app settings.json and add our private key. I'm giving a configuration here, JWT config, and here I'm adding a property inside this, that is key, and here I'm giving complicated random private key. So here in this demo, we are using this text as a key, but in real-time projects, we will have a complicated non-human readable key. And now go back to the JWT Token Manager class, and here implement JWT Token Manager, press Ctrl dot and implement this interface. And here I am writing ctvar and double tap to create a constructor for this class, and we need configuration as a dependency to read the configuration that we have added in the app settings.json. And here I'm declaring private read only configuration underscore configuration variable, and after that I'm initializing underscore configuration with the dependency that we got. And inside this method, first we have to validate if the username and password is correct or not, and for that we can write if not data dot users. Here you have to call the database, but we have in-memory list of users, so here we are writing data.users.any x.key equals username and x.value equals password, and if there is no match, we have to return null from this. And now I'm creating where key is equal, we are going to read the key that we have added in app settings.json, and here we can use underscore configuration dot get value of string, and we have to pass the path to that configuration. Now we have to convert this key into bytes as we have to use it later. we can use encoding class, press control dot, we have to use system.text, and ASCII dot get bytes, we have to pass the key. Now we have to create a token handler. Token handler is the class which drives the generation of token. So here I am writing new JWT security token handler. Press control dot over here, we have to install system.identitymodel.tokens.jwt, find and install latest version. Now we have to create a token descriptor. As the name states, it gives all the parameters to the token handler to generate the token. And here I am declaring new security token descriptor. Press control dot, we have to use Microsoft.identitymodel.tokens namespace, and inside this we have to give the parameters on which we have to generate the token. Now here I am adding the subject. Subject means to which user it belongs to, we can understand it in that way, and it is claims identity. So I'm writing system.security.claims identity over here. I'm taking this namespace and adding it at the top as we need it later. So here I'm adding using system.security.claims, and here this claims identity expects a array of claims. So I'm adding array of claims over here, and inside this I am declaring new claim, and we can give the claim type as name identifier. We can use different types of claim types, like even if you want to add, you can add mail ID or any other thing also, but for this demo we are using name identifier and username. And after that we have to define the expiration for this token. Expires is equal to date time dot utc now dot add minutes. I'm giving the expiration time as 30 minutes, and after that we have to add the signing credential. This signing credentials is used by the token handler to encrypt the token, and here we have to use signing credentials, and it expects a security key, and for that we have to pass symmetric security key, and to this we can pass the byte array that we got from the key. So here we are writing key bytes, and also we have to pass an algorithm to encrypt this string. So I'm giving security algorithms dot HMA CSHA256 signature. Now we have to use our token handler to generate using this description. Here I am declaring token is equal to token handler dot create token, and here we have to pass the token description, and after that we can return token handler dot write token, and to this we can pass the token. So what's happening here? First, here we have created the token handler, and here we have defined the parameters on which the token needs to be generated, and after that here we are creating the token. It creates the C# object, and this write token method serializes this token to a string. Please subscribe to AzureTeach.net for more videos on Azure and .NET. Now we have to add authentication related code inside our Startup.cs. Here I am writing add authentication and auth option. I'm using a lambda expression over here, auth options dot default authentication scheme. For this we have to add a NuGet package. So search here for JWT and choose this package, and choose the version which is compatible with the current version of our project. I'm choosing it 3.1.20 because my project is on .NET Core 3.1. I'm choosing this, click on install. The package is installed. Now go to Startup.cs class, and here we are using JWT bearer defaults dot authentication scheme, and also we are configuring default challenge scheme is equal to JWT bearer default dot authentication scheme. And now after that we have to configure the JWT configuration. So add JWT bearer, and here JWT option. Now I am writing JWT options dot save token is equal to true. The use of the save token is it saves the token to the authentication properties. What does this mean? I'll show you what does this mean when I run this program, but for now keep it as save token is equal to true. And after that JWT options.token validation parameters is equal to new token validation parameters, and to this we are going to pass few parameters. So one is issuer sign-in key, and it needs the key that we have in this app settings.json. So I'm just going here and I'm copying these two lines of code because we need the key here as well. So I have defined this here, and we have to get it from configuration property, which is already there. And here issuer sign-in key is equal to, we are telling that it has to use this key that we got from app settings.json symmetric security key, and to this we have to pass the array that we got, key bytes, and after that validate lifetime is equal to true because we are going to validate the lifetime of the token, and validate audience, it should be false. I'll explain this once I run the program. For now we are not going to validate the audience, and we are not going to validate the issuer. Now before using this app.useAuthentication, here we have to use app.useAuthentication, and also we have to add the dependency configuration over here for the interface that we have added. So services.add singleton and type of JWT and we are binding this to type of JWT Token Manager. This code looks good, but it has an issue that I'll show you once I run this project. Now go to the project and add new folder for model. So I'm adding a new folder, models, and under this I'm adding a class to hold the user credential. I'm giving the name as user credential, and I'm adding properties public string username get set public string password get set, and let us add a new controller. Inside our controllers folder, go here, add controller, and choose API, and I'm naming my controller as token controller. Inside this controller, let us add a constructor, and to this add the interface JWT Token Manager as dependency, as we are going to use this for generating the token. And here write private read only JWT Token Manager underscore token manager, and initialize underscore token manager with the dependency that we got in the constructor. And here let us add an action public action result authenticate, and here we are going to use from body attribute, and we are going to use the model that we have created, user credential, and let us define the root parameter http post authenticate. Now here get the token, we can use the token manager dot authenticate and pass credential dot username and credential dot password. So if the username and password is correct, we will get a valid token, otherwise it will be null. So we can write code like string dot is null or empty. If it is null or empty, then simply return unauthorized, otherwise return OK of token. Now let us add one more controller, add controller API. I'm giving the name as name controller, and inside this I'm going to add an action. Before that, let us decorate with authorize attribute because we want to allow the user to access this controller only if the user is authenticated. Let us decorate the authenticate method in token controller with allow anonymous filter because it can be accessed by anybody, like whether the user is authenticated or not. So go to names controller and add an action over here, public action result get names, and it should be a get method. So I'm writing http get attribute, and I am giving the route as get names, and inside here return OK of new list of strings, and I am returning Adam and Robert. Now let us run this project. Now the project ran successfully. Let us copy the base URL from here, go to Postman, and here let us try to access the names controller API / name / get names. So we are not passing any token, so it should give us unauthorized. So we got unauthorized. Now let us add one more tab, copy this URL and go here and paste it over here. Let us make it post request, and inside this now we are accessing token controller. Token / authenticate is our action name. So here we have token controller and we have authenticate method, and go here, and here let me add the content type as application /JSON, and inside body choose raw, and here create the JSON object, and here we are passing username, sample user, and password is equal to password. Let us pass invalid credentials, so I'm giving the password as password1. Let us run this. So it is showing unauthorized because we gave an invalid password. Now use the correct password, click on send. Now we got a valid token. Go back to here in the header. Let us add authorization header because we are going to use the bearer authentication, bearer space, and paste the token that we got. Earlier it was returning 401 unauthorized. Now if you click over here, we got the response. Now let us discuss about the parameters that we have added inside this Startup.cs class. First, let us discuss about save token. I am stopping this solution, and inside my names controller here I am adding where token is equal to, I am writing await http context dot get token async method. So for this method we have to add this namespace, and we have to pass the token name. Access underscore token is the name. You will understand this once I run this program. I'm just removing this await. I don't want to use it now. I just want to take the result. So I'm taking the result here. Let us put a breakpoint over here and run the program. Now the application is running. Go back to Postman. Let us generate the token. I'm clicking on send. I got a token. I'm copying it and going here and pasting the token. Now pasted the token. Now click on send. So if you see here, I got the token. Okay, I got this token from HTTP context. Now stop the solution. Go to Startup.cs class. Let us make this as false. Now run this program. Now the application is running. Go to Postman, go to this tab and get the token, copy the token, go back to here and paste the token. Now click on send. If you see here, the token is null. So by this, I think you got understanding on the use of the save token flag. That means if you use the save token flag, it adds the token to authentication properties, which we can access from here. Why it is needed? Like if you have any understanding on Azure Graph API, or if you are using any Azure related applications and you want to preserve the token to call any other APIs later, you can use this kind of thing. But in our application, it is a simple JWT API token demo. So we are not going to call any other API. So that's the use of save token. Stop the solution again, and now go to Startup.cs class. So let us understand how it is doing the validation of the token where it doesn't have any relationship with this class. If you see here in the token validation parameters, nowhere we have mentioned that we are using this class to generate the token, but still it is working. How it is working? Let us do the anatomy of JWT token. Let us go back here and copy the token that we got. Now go to browser and here JWT token decode, and here go to this first site and paste your token over here. Now how it is working? Because here JWT token has three parts. The first part says what type of token it is and also the algorithm. So here it is telling the algorithm. So when this application runs, Here we have mentioned the same key, so it uses the algorithm from the first part of JWT token to decrypt this token and validate. And here in the second part of the JWT token we have name ID, that's the sample user, because we have added that claim inside our JWT Token Manager class, which is over here. So here if you see, we have added that subject, so that's the reason it came. And there are other flags, that is NBF, that means not before. Not before means the token is valid only after certain time. And here IAT means issued at time, and EXP means expiration time. It is showing these as numbers, but let us convert this to the date, then we can understand. Number to date time, and we can go to this timestamp.online. Let us paste the number over here and click on convert. It converted the number to date time, and here if you see, it is valid until 2:59:49 seconds PM. So that is the expiration time. If you see here, my time here is 2:34 PM, and this is issued at time and this is not before. So let us check this one and click on convert. So this token is valid only after this particular time. Now let us discuss about the remaining parameters. Here we have discussed about this, and validate lifetime, so it validates the lifetime of the token. And here we have validate audience. At present we are not using any authentication server, we are using the same application to generate the token. But if we use any applications like Azure, we can get a token. From that we can understand the use of these flags. So here I'm hitting a Azure URL. So if you don't know what it is, you can go to the video that is there at the top in the I symbol, you can watch that. So here in the body I'm passing all these things and I'm clicking on here. So I'm copying this token and I'm going here, and let us decode this token. So here if you see here, it has an audience, because in that request I'm trying to access storage.azure.com. so that's the reason. The audience, that means the resource that I want to access, is this one. And here we have a issuer URL. So if we are using any multi-tenant applications, like Azure can have multiple clients associated with it, there is a probability that the same token can be generated by two applications. So here it adds this issuer flag. So if we make this validate issuer equal to true, it uses that URL to validate the token. But in our application we are not using any authorization server, so it is not needed over here. Now the final thing is, here there is an issue. The issue is just reduce the token expiration time to 30 seconds. Add seconds. So here we are giving 30 seconds token expiration time. So I am running this application. The application ran successfully. Go to names controller. Let us remove this breakpoint as it is not required now. Go here and generate the token again. Copy the token and go here, paste the token and click on send. Now we got the response. We gave 30 seconds of expiration time. So wait for 30 seconds. So here time is 2:38. Now the time is 2:40. I'm trying to use the same token after 1.5 minutes, where our expiration time is 30 seconds. So still the token is working. That means it is not validating the token expiration. So to do this, we have to add one more property. Stop the solution, go over here and write clock skew is equal to timespan dot 0. So why this is required? This JWT token validation uses 5-minute window to validate the token. That means the token is valid until 5 minutes after the expiration time. Now we have defined that we do not want to use that 5-minute window and we want immediate expiration of the token. Now I am running this solution again. Let us go here and generate the token first and copy the token. Go here and paste the token. Now hit on send. We got the response. Let us wait for 1 minute. Now the time is 2:58 PM. Now after a minute, I am trying to hit the send again. Now we got the 401 response as the token is expired. That is all in this demo. Please subscribe to AzureTeach.net for more videos on Azure and .NET.